Our first reading came from the first letter of St. Peter. And the first letter of St. Peter is a baptismal catechesis, the first one that we have recorded. Yesterday, I was struck by the line that in baptism we were born anew. And today, I want to comment on one of the aspects of baptism that Peter is already pointing out, and he's talking about how in baptism we receive a special priesthood and also a special kingship too. So how does this work? If you look at images of the Old Testament that prepare Jesus and help us understand Jesus, there are three big images that are very Christological in the Old Testament. And these images are the image of the prophet, the king, and the priest. And all of these images, in a way, prepare and anticipate the image of Christ himself. For example, among the kings, perhaps the most that prepares the image of Christ is David. David is a beautiful image of the Messiah to come. Among the prophets, perhaps Moses, who spoke face to face with God, was the one who prepared, in the prophetic side, the image of Christ. And among the priests, perhaps Melchizedek, the priest without age, is the one who prepares the coming of Christ. So all these three images in the Old Testament speak in their own way and from a particular perspective about Christ. So what do we believe? We believe that in our baptism, all of these titles of Christ we have received too by adoption or by osmosis. We have also received these titles. We are also made prophets, kings, and priests. And today, and in fact, the church believes this so with such determination that maybe you remember it, but in every baptism, after the person is baptized with the water, what do we do next? We anoint the baptized with a special chrism. And what does this anointing remind us? Of the anointing of the kings, of the prophets, and of the priests of the Old Testament. So that's how firmly we believe in the Catholic Church that we have received these prerogatives of Christ, that we anoint the person who receives baptism. So today Peter is speaking about how we have received this royal priesthood and we are called to do our spiritual offerings and our spiritual sacrifices. So this is a beautiful and gentle reminder for each one of us to conduct ourselves as priests throughout the day. And what is the main duty of a priest? To offer sacrifices. In the same way that for an ordained priest, the central aspect of his day is the celebration of the Holy Mass. In the same way, for all of us baptized, we should also exercise our priestly ministry in offering our spiritual sacrifices. What are our spiritual sacrifices? Our day-to-day activities. For those who, after Mass, go to do their job, that's your offering. That's what you're meant to sacrifice. We are meant to make our days a spiritual sacrifice permanently. And the more we renew the sacrifice and we renew our offerings, the better. But also, it's true too that when we come to Mass, we also are meant to make the sacrifice of our own life. We should put ourselves in the altar and we should offer ourselves up to God the Father through Christ. So brothers and sisters, let us today be grateful for the fact that we have received these three titles from Christ. We are also made in baptism with Him priests, prophets, and kings. And today let us be moved by the letter of St. Peter to exercise our priestly ministry, offering up our lives, but also all of our activities throughout the day.